A journey to where nature is at her most magnificent and forbidding. To mysterious places where dazzling and diverse cultures flourish. Where China's numerous ethnic groups draw you into a world of color and vibrancy. Where distinct lifestyles, traditions, and crafts have survived the test of time. Join Travelogue on its 17-part ethnic Odyssey, visiting more than 100 places across China. Ethnic Odyssey, an enlightened look at China's rich ethnic heritage.
Lujiang is an ancient and mysterious land. It's a land that no one can fail to admire. Nature, the great creator, was particularly kind to this ancient land. It's a home of multi-minority groups in China. Variety of China's landscape, diversity of its people. Welcome to Travelogue. Welcome to our minority special. Here is Yunnan province. We're gonna walking along the river, travel from villages to a township, to visit them, to show you beauty of China, and to explore the greatest canyon in China. The canyon, otherwise known as the New River Gorge, is a real natural wonder. The popular wisdom is that this is the second grandest canyon in the world, after the Grand Canyon itself in Colorado in the States. But I have my doubts. Many of the cliffs here rise to well over 3,000 meters, and that's higher than anything the Grand Canyon can boast. As for the river, she earns her name, Nu, meaning rage, for her roaring rapids and the thundering waves. From her source among the snow-capped peaks of the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, she winds for 1,500 kilometers across southwest China before making her way into Myanmar. As for the many tall mountains that stand in her way, well, the Nu simply cut through them, hence the canyon. Another wonder of the canyon is the ethnic minorities. It's hard to imagine anywhere else in the world which is such a huge diversity of dialects, customs, and faiths. The only thing that people seem to have in common here is a shared belief in living in peace. The town of Liuku lies at the southern end of the New River Gorge, from where my expedition will take me way up to north. Here, one of the largest transportation center here. We can have a bus, taxi, all kind of transportation you can find in Liuku, this is a city. And this can take you all the way to the city we're going to go into, the Bingzhongluo. It's take about 6 hours. You know, if I have money, you can take a taxi. This costs us 600. Or you can take a bus. It's a lot cheaper. Or you go down the other ways, go to Baoshan, which is close to the airport. That's cheaper and shorter distance. It's only 2.5 hours. So I'm in the middle. We'll decide which way I'm going to go. So I'm going to ask all the prices, compare with everything to find out. As the capital of the Nujiang Lisu Autonomous Prefecture, Liuku enjoys good transport links, so you can get to pretty well all of the prefecture's many townships and villages from it. I've already discovered the names of the 4 counties that make up the prefecture. They're Lushui, Fugong, Lanping, and Gongshan. Clearly, though, I've got a lot more to learn about what seems to me a truly charming area. One thing, I gotta tell you, one thing, come to Yunnan, gotta be prepared for long traveling plan. Because each location to another location, they might take, 5 hours, 6 hours. But just don't sleep. Wake up watching around, while you're driving. There's so many beautiful things along the road. But it's gonna be a long plan because, this is all in the mountain. You have circling the mountain from one to another one. Take a day or two, and then you want to enjoy. So you need a long plan. Got it? Too much drive. I'm tired. My first stop is Dayangchang, a vast meadow. Dayangchang is about 4,000 meters above sea level. Up in the mountains where 3 counties, Lanping, Lijiang, and Weixi meet. Dayangchang is famous for its natural beauty and the remarkable people who live here. They are the Pumi, fewer than 30,000 of them living along the canyon and in Lijiang to the east. At one time, the Pumi were herders, roaming the high grasslands of Qinghai Tibet Plateau, but over centuries, they have been settling down as farmers and craftsmen. Pumi, I've been told, means white. I guess the name was chosen because of its association with purity. I, for one, can remember hearing songs and seeing dances that conveyed such a sense of pure enjoyment. But then singing and dancing have been an important part of Pumi life for as long as anyone can remember.
这是我们普米族的烤弦，这是竹筒，在里面的话有3根竹片。然后平时我们在家坐在火塘边的时候，心情不好就可以吹一吹，然后就心情好的时候就唱唱歌、跳跳舞。 心情不好的时候就吹吹烤弦。
还有一种说法就是，以前老人就是谈情说爱的时候，就是用这种说一些简单的语言了。
The Koxian is an icon for Pumi tradition, which makes it more a narrator of history than a vehicle of love. In times gone by, the Pumi were a nomadic folk, roaming the grasslands up north on the Qinghai Tibet Plateau. When powerful invaders came from the north, the Pumi declined to fight and instead they moved further south. Apparently, much of their wandering was done to the accompaniment of the Koxian. I'm now on my way to a village called Baihualing, which means floral range, a small place hidden in the canyon. It was barely known to the outside world. That was until a century or so ago, when the village had some visitors who left it a legacy that is making it known today. Like any other new arrival, I've given a traditional Lisu welcome. The Lisu, perhaps more than any other ethnic group in 3 parts, are well known for their singing and dancing, and they certainly start young. However, the songs the children are singing today are no ordinary Lisu folk songs. And that's because the place I've been visiting is no ordinary Lisu place. It has a secret, and just like me, a lot of people come here to investigate. The secret is connected to religion. Although most Lisu people believe in the gods of nature, there are some who don't, especially those living in the canyons, remotest mountains. Now the reason for this religious divergence is all to do with the visitors I mentioned, the ones who came here a century ago. There were missionaries who came from Britain and the United States to preach Christianity to the villager. And it's Christianity the villagers are practicing now, but with some subtle differences. Take Christmas or Thanksgiving, for example. Yes, they celebrate it, but not on a fixed date like the rest of the world. They prefer to fit it in between 24 and 26 December.
Okay. It's here's the Bible actually created in the local language. The language actually pretty much like an English alphabet, but the order they put is differently. But of course, the pronunciation, everything's differently. Only started from 1928 when the British priest came in town and taught them create these words and the language. And in 1945 started to have Bible. Now in my hand, the whole Bible, the entire story is written by use the local language, and every Sunday people here to sing the song, and later on hopefully I can ask them to sing the song that's all in Lisu language.
It's time to say farewell, but here there's no waving goodbye. The villagers sing me off with songs. I don't understand a single word of it, but I can't help thinking that in their singing there's something of the purity of their hearts. Next stop is Fugong County, east of Lanping. The biggest ethnic group here is, again, the Lisu. Christianity is the main religions among them. Altogether, the Lisu people number over 600,000 people, mainly living in Yunnan. Traveling on a bumpy road can be pretty uncomfortable, especially at a moment like this.
One problem. Car roll over a big stone. Broken. Now we have all the sea, you can see the trail. No more gas. No more oil. So we're gonna either hiking or lucky get a car. It's in the middle of nowhere.